Hello, I'm Kim Green from Durham Technical Community College. Thank you for supporting us at Phi Beta Lambda. Thank you for volunteering to judge today's business ethics competition. Ethics for compliance: don't ask, don't tell, don't get caught, legal. Business ethics for community values: what is right, what is desired. This is complicated by the global supply chain. So what is legal harm? What is a moral wrong? Should businesses be held responsible for implementing practices to protect the environment? No. The 1970 Friedman Doctrine states that companies should only be responsible for increasing company value and shareholder return. No. Unfortunately, scale in business is critical, and according to Entrepreneur Magazine in 2016, the potential customers might not be sufficient in number to justify the expense of the innovation to support environmental consciousness. Instead, focus on customer savings, on market differentiation. And although environmental responsibility affects your reputation, it may not be enough to save it. BP found that out. They donate refrigerators to store the malaria vaccine, and it was not enough to preserve the company's reputation during the BP Deepwater Horizon crisis. And there's a paradox. Nature is freely available. Nature is very bountiful in the areas, which means that some people believe that freely available equals free of cost. This also has a side effect of, since there is no direct cost associated with it, you can't make a good market trade-off decision. There's apples to apples, oranges to oranges, dollars to dollars required to make a sound business decision on the cost versus benefits for being environmentally responsible. The inputs and the outputs have to be the same value. Business ethics. Should businesses be responsible for implementing practices to preserve the environment? Yes. Tax benefits. In the United States, there's a competency-based program where companies can donate up to 25% of their taxable income as services to the community instead of financial value. This alleviates the cost of the government stepping in and providing aid. It also alleviates the government overhead of tracking and managing that. 2, investment. There's been a ginormous exponential growth from less than 50 companies stating environmental responsibility in 2000 to 1,100 companies stating some version of environmental responsibility in 2016. 2016 to 2019, investment in responsible companies doubled. Currently, major asset managers, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, Goldman Sachs, and State Street all specifically offer some environmentally responsible companies in their portfolios. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, said that profits and social purpose are inextricably linked. Global Sustainable Investment says that currently there are 50% of funds traded in Europe and Australia have a sustainable component to them. Series research. 2/3 of companies are mindful of greenhouse gases. 50% do water management. 50% have a program for the human rights of their employees. 3, purchasing habits. 2013 to 2018, consumer sustainable goods with a sustainable component purchases had a 50% growth. In 2018, Nike CFO Andy Campion said that investment and innovation are a sound part of their strategy. 2019, Forbes. 62% of Generation Z newly entering the workforce prefer to buy from sustainable brands. And 54% of Generation Z, 50% of millennials, 34% of Generation X, and 23% of baby boomers will all spend 10% or more to support sustainable goods. A 2021 study from May this year, Shopify Plus and 9 partners interviewed over 1,000 consumers and found that 32% were very supportive and influenced by sustainability for their purchasing habits, and 46% said that they were somewhat influenced. For employee productivity, there's $150 in lost productivity by working sick. When you're not sick enough to go to the hospital or stay home, you can still function, you go in anyway. There's a 2017 Harvard Business study with Syracuse University monitoring ventilation and CO2. For areas which had extra ventilation and decreased CO2, there was a 61% better performance on tasks. There's 30% fewer headaches and respiratory complaints, and 27% employee performance increased in certified green buildings and legal requirements. Ecuador has rewritten their constitution to say rights for nature. So should businesses be held responsible for implementing practices to protect the environment? Yes. Planned savings by not having environmental responsibility are offset by fines, lawsuits, and lost productivity. You will lose market competition as customers increasingly value sustainability and environmental consciousness. So choose wisely, invest wisely, thrive in the market. Thank you.